Hello everyone, and once again welcome to Corner Bedroom Watercolors. Today we're going to tackle something a little bit different. It's a painting of a sunrise over a lake, and it's quite dramatic. It looks like this. And we'll get you started on that, talk you through it just like we always do. Thank you for watching, and let's get started. We're going to get started on our painting. Today we're doing a little bit of a lake scene with a sunrise, and we're going to attempt to do this in about 15 minutes or less. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I don't know if you can see, I have got a very sketchy drawing on there. It's very faint. You can just see like a top of a tree line here, and this is where the sun is. And also down here, I've just blocked out an area for the reflection of the sun. So let's get started laying our sky. And today, what we're doing is we are doing a wet in wet technique. So what that means is, again, we're going to take just plain water and we're going to wet the top of our canvas, our watercolor paper. And we're going to wet it up to a little bit over the tree line. Okay. And when we say wet, just so that the paper's got a nice gloss to it. You're not putting water all over it, but just a nice gloss. And we're going to start in using a bit of gray. I'm using a Payne's gray mixed with just a little bit of blue. And it can be whatever blue you've got on your palette will work just fine. We're going to start up here, and remember, since that sun is in this area, we're going to try to stay away from that area. I want a little bit darker. Okay, and again, we're just coming around those treetops. It's nothing that you have to get worried. If you go over, it's okay. Same thing here. And again, being careful about that area around the sun. Okay, same thing here. Come down that tree line. Oops, just like so. Alright, and then what we're going to do is add in some little darker tones, little wispier tones like so maybe. Alright, just like so. Sort of dramatic sky, because it is the morning, it's the sunlight. And we're going to touch just a little bit into a yellow. Okay? And remember, watercolor dries lighter. Now just come in with just plain water, soften that up a little bit. You bring some of the yellow in, but not a lot. And as we go out, I'm going to pick up just a little bit of an orange, this. Just like that, huh? And again, pick up a little bit more of a yellow again. Yellowish orange works. I'm just dabbing it in, and just so that we've got some nice contrast going on. So in order, if you remember, in order to show light, we need dark. So we're going to come in here a little bit darker again. It's always lighter near the horizon, so again, just like so. Come in with a clean brush, like this. See what I'm doing? Sort of putting in rays. You want to go from dark to light, not the other way around. So if you come in from light to dark, that's fine too. You can do that, but you got to make sure that your brush is absolutely clean in order to do that, huh? Back in with our flat brush once again. Gets our darks going. A little bit more dark. Here I'm just dabbing in. I'm letting the water do some of the work. You can actually even tilt your painting sometimes. I don't know if you can see that, but it'll run a little bit. I know it's hard to see. But as you can see, it's making for a really dramatic look, huh? Let's make that corner dark. I think that'll look nice. Now, watch this. I'm going to take a wadded up piece of paper like this and just do this. And make sure you turn it every time. If you don't, you're going to get dark splotches. Not a good thing. Whoop, might have been too much on that one. That's all right. Turn your paper. Okay. Now, if you get areas, for example, like this here, don't worry about that. Come in with just a damp brush and smooth it out so you don't have those hard edges. Okay. Just like this. Nice. I already like the way that's looking. Okay. Now, we can see this was our outline of our trees. Now our trees are also very dark, and we're going to put those in with a fan brush. And they are lighter at the tops as it gets close to the sunlight. So we're just going to start a tree in here. And these are real vague right now. Just vague trees. And as you can see, as we get really close to the sun, it's obviously going to get much lighter. And then as we progress out of the sunlight, it's going to get darker again. Okay. And you can see we've got our trees growing in. Just like that. Now your paper will dry out as you continue to paint. That's okay. You always come back in, wet it a little. As you progress down now, I do have a horizon line here, and the trees are going to become very, very indistinct. They're all going to blend together. So again, I'm coming in with a mixture, in this case, of a sap green, too much water, sap green, and Payne's Gray. And I'm just going down, just trying to fill out basic shapes of trees. Again, a little bit more color. I'm just touching, I'm actually letting the water do the work. See? now we're going to get quite dark as we come down because our trees are starting to lose their form and they're just blending in now into this horizon line. Just like this. You can leave little spaces of white, it's okay. Okay, and again, once you start this area around the sun, make sure that stays lighter. Come in dark, 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 dark. Let's get a little bit darker. And I'm going to show you how to do those other ones in just a moment. Right here, come in to this horizon line, and we're just making indistinct tree shapes at this point. We can come back in later and fix things if we need to. Try not to, but we can. Okay, now here we can come in with a dark down at the bottom because it is, but as we go up, and I'm just cleaning my brush here a little bit, I'm going to pick up a little bit of lighter color, go into the dark, and just do this. Pick up my round brush. And this is a clean brush. It has nothing on it right now. And I'm just going to go in and sort of fuzz this around because that is our sunlight. Again, just a brush that has no pigment in it right now. It's just clean water. Okay. Now, tip this up a little bit. Trees are fuzzy, it's okay. Now watch this. We're going to take and go into our, we're going to use our little spray bottle, okay? And far away, we're going to just tip a little bit on our painting and go in from the sun and sun rays. Sun rays. Keep turning your paper. Remember that, huh? Harder you press, the more the ray will come out. It's a little bit of a technique, but you'll get it. Let's do one more right here. That. Nice. Now, what we can do is come back in, our fan brush, our little darks again, and make them distinct again. There you go. Now these that are further away, of course, they're going to be darker. These trees. And then, of course, as we get lower towards the horizon, it's going to be really, really dark. Not so much here, remember? Okay. Cool. Now, under here, we've got some water. And we need to show, shimmering. So we're going to use the same colors as the sky, only just slightly lighter. Get yourself a good wash. Let's take a look at it. All right, let's see what this looks like. That's all right. once again here, we're going to use that wet on wet technique. Getting our brush wet. And careful you don't go too much up into the tree line right now. Don't worry about that. It's just a little test. All right. So now, and again, we want to leave that area by the sun. Want to leave that light. So take a tissue, whatever, just blot out some light. Let's take our colors now. And, oops, I noticed I've got a little bit too much. And when we paint water, you want to leave some spots in it. Okay, just like this. And so the first thing to do is leave our area around the sun open, huh? It'll flow into itself. A little too much water there, see that? If you get too much water, blot it out, it'll work. All right, now let's touch a bit of our sunlight color that we used before. Oops, make sure. I just had a dirty brush, and that is not a good thing. I want to pick up dirt. Okay. It's going to be a little lighter because it is the water. That. Clean out your brush. Just dry brush only. I'm sorry, just slightly wet brush. If it gets too dark, go in, lighten it up. Now, let's add some darks to our water, because we got darks around here. Same thing over here. Need dark. Dark to show light. And don't be afraid to use dark. Dark. Okay. Now we're going to obscure the horizon right here. Just like this. Very, very dark. And I'm using more of a dry paint right now. A little too dry, I'm afraid. Same thing here. Okay. Now, same thing. Using that darkness, just make like this. That. Look at that, how nicely that's working. And we're gonna make our tree. Comes over here, lives there, huh? There you go. Same thing on the other side. Come here. Don't be afraid to show dark. Afraid to use dark. And then we got a tree that comes over in here, like so. It's really simple. This isn't difficult at all. And then you're going to want to take the light color that we used, and make these trees up here. That. Same thing. Let the colors blend together. And if you need a little bit of dark, see how that's just not dark enough. Come back in. Got one coming up here. this. Looking good. Really nice. Again, darken this up just a touch. Now with just water, take some of this green and make it fuzz out. Like that. Oh, that's dramatic, isn't it? Look at it, we've already got a very nice little painting going. We're going to do our trick again here, if we can, with a little bit of sunlight, and just go, just again, like that. Huh? Just give it some sun rays. Pretty, very pretty. Now, again, plain water. Again, if you get too close to the dirty part, no problem. No hard edges. We don't want any hard edges. See that part here? That's good. Oh, I like that. That came out. Now you can also take the end of a brush, for example, and scratch in little waves like this. Little reflections. Give it that sense of water. Don't like them? No problem. We can take them out. Or if they're too sharp, for example, these are a little sharp. It's alright. Just fuzz them out. Now, I'd like again more dark in here. See that? Get that nice and dark. We want this to be pretty dramatic. Same thing up in here in the foreground here. Very nice. Let's take a dark green, come back into our tree areas here. Remember, this is like daybreak, so I'm trying to really get some drama out of it. There you go. Come down with it. Look at how nice that's looking, huh? Pretty, very, very pretty. Go back in with our fan brush a little bit. Fuzz out some trees. In here. And I think we need some dark down here. This. What a pretty painting you have. It's got some light showing. It's dramatic. If you want to fill in a little bit of something, oh, maybe just a touch of darkness over here. Huh? You see, this is a pretty dry brush, but I can come back in now using just a little bit of water and just sort of fill that in. Same thing on the left so that the painting's balanced. A little darker. And we just are going to wisp these out like this, just plain water. Now you see, there's a mistake. See that? That's because I went from dark to light. Not to worry, take it out. You can go once, but no more. Darken this up just a touch. Again, this, that. And there we have almost a complete painting. But since we have light coming here, we're going to just tip these tops of these trees just a little bit of light. See that? Just where they're getting a little bit of sunlight, like that. And if you want to soften them, clean brush, remember, clean brush. We can also take that yellow, put a little bit down here. That's it. Our painting is done. How nice. All we have to do is sign it. And what we want to make sure though is that it's dry. So I'm just going to turn the hairbrush, I keep calling this a hairbrush, hairdryer, just on this corner. For now. Take our little rigger brush, liner brush, whatever you want to call it, which at the moment is escaping me. And since we have dark, we need to sign it with some light. So I'm going to pull up a yellow and put it right here. Just like that. All right, let's take a look at how it looks. Let's throw a little mat on it. And there you go. That beautiful little watercolor painting. Hope you enjoyed it.